Before beginning the installation, read the installation and care instructions thoroughly for important safety information, required tools and materials, and to identify all the parts of your shower door. Determine which side you want your door to pivot on. For the purpose of this video, the door will be installed so it pivots on the right side. The installation instructions will apply either way. Measure the distance between the walls of the shower. This dimension is referred to as distance A in the installation instructions. Write down distance A. Next, subtract 1/16 of an inch from distance A and mark the threshold. Cut the threshold at this mark. File away any burrs or rough edges. Position the threshold a 1/4 inch from the front of the ledge and mark its location. If needed, file the ends of the threshold so it fits into the corners. On the side of the shower that the door will pivot, slide the pivot seat, the bottom frame, and the wall jamb seat onto the threshold. On the other side of the threshold, install the strike jamb seat. Apply silicone sealant along the ledge where the threshold will go. Install the threshold to the ledge, then push the strike jamb seat against the wall. Secure the threshold with tape so the sealant can cure. Next, you will be installing the top bracket to the pivot jamb. Make sure to install the bracket facing the correct direction so the channels for the glass on both the wall jamb and the threshold are aligned. Secure the top bracket to the pivot jamb. Move the pivot jamb into place in the shower. Plumb the pivot jamb, then tape it into place. Next, mark the 6 hole locations. Do not mark the very bottom hole. Remove the pivot jamb and drill 5/16 inch holes at each of the marked screw locations. Then install the anchors to the holes. Install the pivot jamb and secure it with the screws. For the top screw, make sure to use a long-handled screwdriver to avoid damaging the finish. Snap the wall jamb cover into place. Now, position the cam on the pivot seat. The pin on the bottom of the cam should go on the opposite side of where the fixed panel will go. Assemble the bushing to the top clamp and the cam to the bottom clamp. Measure the distance between the wall and the pivot center of the top bracket. This dimension is referred to as distance B in the installation instructions. Record distance B. Then measure the distance between the wall and the center of the cam in the pivot seat and record it. In the installation instructions, this dimension is referred to as distance C. Subtract 1/16 of an inch from distance B. Then center the top clamp on the top side of the door panel at the measurement with the set screws opposite the label. Tighten the set screws using a 3/16 inch hex wrench. Repeat the process for the bottom clamp, but use distance C instead of distance B. To install the door, slide the pivot seat away from the bottom frame. Move the door panel into position over the pivot seat and lower it into place. Keep the door in the open position and tilt it so the top clamp goes into the top bracket. Lift the panel and slide the pivot seat toward the bottom frame while keeping the top clamp engaged in the top bracket. Make sure the pivot seat is tight against the bottom frame. Then position the nylon washer and countersink washer on the top pin and tighten it securely with a screw. Remove the corner protectors from the door. Test the door for smooth operation and confirm there is a gap of less than a 1/4 inch between the door and the wall when the door is closed. If the panel requires adjustment, support the front edge of the door and loosen the set screws on the top or bottom clamp and slide the door forward or backward as needed. Make sure to retighten the set screws when the door is correctly aligned. Place the strike jamb on the strike jamb seat. Align the jamb with the door. Then mark the position and remove the jamb. Clean the wall where the strike jamb will be installed with an alcohol wipe. Allow the area to dry, then remove the backing from the adhesive strip on the strike jamb. Install the strike jamb so it aligns with the markings you made earlier. Measure the distance from the front of the bottom pivot to the edge of the door panel. Subtract 1/2 inch from that distance, then cut the seal at that length. Then measure the distance from the back of the bottom clamp to the other edge of the door. Cut the excess seal to that length. Install both sections to the bottom of the door so the water deflector will be on the inside of the shower. Apply silicone sealant to the back channel and the inside edge of the pivot jamb and along the bottom frame. Move the fixed glass panel into place in the channel, then tape it for stability. Determine the vertical center of the door and make a mark at that location on the front edge of the door panel. Clean the area on both sides of the door with an alcohol wipe. Then tape the template into place, aligning the top of the template with the mark you made. Take one of the handles and remove the adhesive backing. Line the handle up with the template and press it firmly into place. Repeat this process on the other side of the door to install the inside handle. Remove the tape from the threshold. Apply silicone sealant to the inside and outside of the strike jamb. Outside the shower, apply silicone sealant along the front of the threshold. On the inside of the shower, apply silicone sealant where the pivot jamb meets the wall. After cleanup, your installation is complete.